You know how they say your final year of high school is supposed to be the best year of your life? The big one. The year you figure out who you are before the world comes rushing in. For me, it was all of that. But not in the way anyone expected. I had just finished grade 11, standing on the edge of something I couldn't quite name yet. Summer stretched ahead like an open road. And that's when I got my dream girl, Lily Parker. Confident. Artistic. The kind of person who painted her thoughts instead of speaking them. Misunderstood by most. Seen by few. And somehow, she chose me. Ethan Morrison. Average grades. Decent at soccer. Good at blending in. Not someone you'd expect to be part of a secret like this. But that's the thing about secrets, isn't it? They always find a place to live. Ours lived in the girls' restroom behind the art wing. Yeah, you heard that right. And that restroom, that forgotten, rose-scented, dust-covered space, became the place where I met someone who would unknowingly change everything I thought I knew about myself. I thought the secret I was keeping was about love. I didn't know it was about identity. That someone was me. Before we dive in, please hit that subscribe button and join the Gender Diary family for more heartfelt stories about discovery, transformation, and love. And I'd love to know, what time and country are you watching from? Drop it in the comments below. It always makes my day to see where our stories reach. Let me set the scene for you. Our school wasn't massive, but it had that classic high school vibe. You know the one. Cliques in the cafeteria, whispers in the hallways. Everyone watching everyone. Popularity was currency, and reputation was everything. Lily and I, we didn't fit neatly into any box. And maybe that's why we worked. But she was careful, guarded. She'd been burned before by people who turned her vulnerability into gossip. So when we started dating that summer, she asked me to keep it quiet, just for a while. Just until we were sure. I didn't mind. Honestly, part of me liked it. The thrill of something that was just ours. So we found a place. The old restroom behind the art wing. The one they stopped using after they renovated the main building. It was tucked away, forgotten, gathering dust. The door didn't even squeak anymore. It just gave way, like it was welcoming you into a secret. Inside, it smelled faintly of rose soap and old tile. The mirrors were spotted with age. The sinks still worked, but nobody ever turned them on. To everyone else, it was nothing. A relic. To us, it was sacred. We'd meet there between classes, during lunch, sometimes after school when the hallways emptied out. We'd sit on the floor, backs against the cold tile, and just exist. She'd sketch in her notebook. I'd watch her hands move across the page, creating worlds I couldn't even imagine. Sometimes we'd talk. About everything, about nothing. About the future we weren't sure we'd have together but hoped for anyway. Other times we'd just be silent. And that silence? It said more than words ever could. I remember one afternoon. She drew something on the corner of the mirror with a dry erase marker. A tiny heart with our initials inside. It stayed there for weeks. Every time I saw it, I felt this warmth in my chest, like I was protecting something precious. I thought I was protecting her, but maybe I was hiding myself too. And then one day, someone else walked in. It was a Tuesday. I remember because Lily had an art critique that afternoon, so we'd planned to meet earlier than usual. I got there first, leaned against the sink, scrolling through my phone, waiting for her. The door was always unlocked from the inside. Our little trick. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Closer. Closer. The door swung open. But it wasn't Lily. It was Mia Torres, Lily's best friend. She stopped mid-step, her eyes locked on mine. For a second, neither of us moved. The air went cold. And then she said it. "And what business do you have here?" Her voice wasn't loud, but it cut through the silence like glass. I froze. My mouth opened, but nothing came out. What was I supposed to say? That I was waiting for her best friend? That we'd been secretly meeting here for weeks? I mumbled something. I don't even remember what. Something useless. Something that made no sense. And then I ran. I walked past her and bolted down the hallway, my sneakers squeaking against the linoleum. My heart was pounding so loud I thought everyone could hear it. That run felt endless. Like the walls were closing in, like I'd been caught in something way bigger than I understood. I wasn't just running from Mia. I was running from the part of myself that didn't have answers yet. When I finally stopped, I was outside by the soccer field, doubled over, trying to catch my breath. That evening, I told Lily what happened. We laughed it off. She said Mia wouldn't say anything, that she'd probably just forgotten about it already. But I couldn't shake it. Not the fear, not the embarrassment. Something else. A strange pull. A curiosity. A flicker of something I couldn't name. That laugh we shared that night? It wasn't just relief. It was the spark of an idea that would change us both. A few days later, Lily brought it up. We were sitting in the restroom again, because of course we were, and she was doodling in her notebook like always. Then she looked up at me with this mischievous grin. "You know what would be funny?" she said. I raised an eyebrow. "What?" "What if we dressed you up? Like, really dressed you up? So if Mia or anyone else ever walked in again, they'd just think you were someone else." I laughed. "You're kidding," she shrugged. "I mean, yeah, but also, wouldn't it be kind of fun?" Fun, that's what she called it. A joke, a game, a way to outsmart the universe. But the way she said it, there was something underneath. Something curious. Like she wanted to see what would happen. And honestly, so did I. "Okay," I said, "let's do it." Her eyes lit up. We planned it for that weekend. My parents were out of town. The house would be empty. Just us, an afternoon, and whatever this experiment was about to become. It felt like setting up for an art project. Only this time, I was the canvas. And I didn't know it yet, but once the transformation began, I wouldn't want it to end. Saturday came. Lily showed up around noon with a duffel bag slung over her shoulder. She had this look on her face, focused, determined, like an artist about to start their masterpiece. We went up to my room. The sunlight was pouring through the window, soft and golden. She laid everything out on the bed like tools. A pastel dress, pale pink, with little white flowers stitched along the hem, a compact of blush, lip tint, mascara, eyeliner, a pair of ballet flats, a bottle of vanilla perfume. I stared at it all, my heart doing this strange flutter. "You ready?" she asked. I nodded. I wasn't sure what I was ready for, but I trusted her. She started with my face. "Close your eyes," she said softly. I did. The makeup brush touched my skin, and I felt something shift. It wasn't just the coolness of the bristles or the faint scent of powder. It was something deeper, a click. Like a door unlocking inside me, she worked slowly, carefully, blending the blush along my cheekbones, brushing mascara onto my lashes, dabbing the lip tint with her fingertip. I didn't speak. Neither did she. It wasn't comedy. It wasn't a prank. It was connection. It felt like my heartbeat had slowed, as if my body already recognized what my mind hadn't caught up to yet. I opened my eyes and turned toward the mirror, and I froze. The person staring back at me wasn't a joke, wasn't a disguise. They were beautiful, soft features, warm eyes. A calmness I didn't recognize, but somehow knew. "Wow," Lily whispered behind me. I couldn't respond. I just stared. Then came the dress. She handed it to me, and I slipped it on. The fabric was light, almost weightless. It brushed against my skin like a whisper. The hem floated just above my knees. I looked at myself again. And for the first time in my life, I didn't see Ethan Morrison, the soccer player, the average kid, trying to blend in. I saw someone else. Someone I didn't have a name for yet. Someone real. Lily stepped beside me. She smiled, but there was something in her eyes. Surprise, maybe. Recognition. "How do you feel?" she asked. I opened my mouth to say something funny. Something dismissive. But the truth came out instead. "I feel like myself." The words hung in the air. We took a few photos, laughed, joked about how I'd totally fool Mia now. But behind every laugh was silence, a silence filled with realization. When she left that evening, I sat alone in front of the mirror. The makeup was still on, the dress still fit perfectly. And for the first time in my life, I didn't want to wipe it off. And yet, I did, because back then, I thought peace was something you had to hide to keep. The days after were strange. I washed off the makeup, put the dress away, went back to being Ethan, but something had changed. My reflection felt incomplete, like the mirror was waiting for someone else to return. Lily texted me like normal. Memes. Inside jokes. But I couldn't bring myself to mention that afternoon. I didn't know how. At school, I started noticing things I'd never paid attention to before. The way sunlight caught on a girl's earring, the colors of someone's cardigan, the confidence in the way people carried themselves. It wasn't envy, it was recognition. Every girl walking past reminded me of the softness I'd felt. Not because I wanted to be them, because I'd felt it in myself. One day, I went back to the restroom. Alone this time. It still smelled the same. Rose soap and dust. The mirror still had that tiny heart Lily had drawn. I stood there, staring at my reflection, and I realized something. This wasn't about Lily anymore. It wasn't about hiding. It wasn't about the secret. It was about me. The mirror didn't lie. It just reflected what was already there. And I was finally ready to see it. Sometimes, the person you fall for is just the mirror guiding you back to yourself. Senior year unfolded quietly after that. I didn't make some grand announcement. Didn't walk into school in a dress. Didn't change my name or start a revolution. But I changed. Subtle shifts. The way I carried myself. The ease in my expression. The confidence that came from knowing something true about myself, even if I didn't have all the words for it yet. I started sketching. Not just doodles, actual designs. Blending styles. Masculine. Feminine. Something in between. Something that felt like me. As for Lily, we still met in the restroom sometimes. But it felt different now. Less like hiding. More like honoring. I didn't have all the answers. I still don't. But I learned something important that year. You don't need permission to become yourself. You just need the courage to look deep inside. And maybe that's all the permission I ever needed. We thought it was a secret love story. It turned out to be a story of self-discovery. That day in the restroom didn't just change how I saw Lily. It changed how I saw myself. And maybe the tiny heart Lily drew had faded by then. But somehow, I still saw it. Only now, it held a different set of initials. Mine. The end. The Gender Diary exists to light that path with shared stories. Whether you found connection in this narrative, you're on your own journey of gender exploration, or you're here seeking understanding, your subscription fuels our mission. Every subscriber empowers us to keep illuminating these authentic experiences for our community. Kindly drop a comment below. Your voice adds to the tapestry of experiences that makes this space meaningful. Until our next story unfolds.